Coming up, former President Donald Trump enters a plea to 4 felony charges.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 11.
Good evening, I'm Steve Hensley. It was something Americans have never seen before. A former president accused of trying to defraud the nation he once led and arriving back in Washington to a crowd gathered not at the White House, but at a federal courthouse. CBS's Robert Costa reports from Washington, D.C.
Former President Donald Trump took on his critics after he left his arraignment in Washington.
This is a persecution of a political opponent. This was never supposed to happen in America.
He traveled to the federal courthouse under heavy security, escorted by his Secret Service detail. Throngs of protesters and fans gathered outside. Once inside, he was processed, but no mugshot was taken. Inside, Trump was fingerprinted. In the courtroom, he raised his right hand to be sworn in. He stated his name and gave his age as 77. He pleaded not guilty to 4 charges brought in a grand jury investigation being led by special counsel Jack Smith, who was also in the courtroom. 3 counts of conspiracy, 1 for obstruction, for allegedly leading a criminal conspiracy to try to overthrow the 2020 presidential election. The judge told Trump the obstruction charge alone carries a maximum of 20 years in prison. Former Trump attorney Tim Parlatore says prosecutors have an uphill climb, proving Trump knew he lost.
Did he know at the time that the claims of fraud were false? Did he know at the time that he'd actually lost the election?
The indictment says Trump deliberately disregarded the truth, a view shared by former Attorney General William Barr.
I have come to believe that he knew well that he had lost the election.
Sources say Trump's lawyers plan to argue that Trump's false claims about the election were not criminal, and that his efforts were driven by the advice of outside attorneys like Sidney Powell, Rudy Giuliani, and John Eastman, among others. CBS News has learned that they are likely some of the 6 alleged co-conspirators cited in the indictment. The judge has scheduled the next hearing for August 28th, and the special counsel has called for a speedy trial. But sources close to Trump's legal team tell CBS News that they will ask for a delay in the trial schedule because of so many cases now facing their client, the former president. Robert Costa, CBS News, Washington.
Well, the fog is already setting in on what looks to be a rather foggy night all throughout the region. Here's the view from our studios here in Hazard. The fog overtaking the region, and more of that's expected as we head through the nighttime hours. Still near 70. Visibility numbers out there. We're already at just a mile visibility here in Hazard. 0 visibility in Logan, 3 miles in Williamsburg, 2 in Jonesville, 7-mile visibility in Somerset, 2 miles in Pikeville. We'll continue to see the visibility numbers get worse as we head through tonight. Upper 60s, low 70s out there for the vast majority of us. It's going to continue to be a muggy night. There you see the low-level moisture on Pinpoint Doppler. Your forecast first into the morning. Definitely a time to leave some extra time to get where you need to go in the morning. Fog less than a mile in many cases, quarter to half mile in most spots. Once we get past 8, we'll start to improve the visibility a little bit through the morning hours. Otherwise, actually a pretty nice morning with those temperatures in the upper 60s to near 70, and we'll continue to see pleasant sunshine. Details, though, on the showers moving out in a few minutes. Steve? All right, definitely need to be careful out there tonight. Evan, thank you. Laurel County deputies are investigating a deadly stabbing. The sheriff's office says 66-year-old Robert Turner died from his injuries. Deputies say Turner got into an argument with someone at a home on Indian Camp Road. During the argument, a knife was pulled. A woman later found Turner inside the home with critical injuries. Deputies say they recovered a pocket knife at the scene. The case is being sent to a grand jury to determine if charges will be filed. The case against a Lexington father accused of killing his 9-month-old baby is moving forward. Saeed Malik Kawan Epps is accused of assaulting his daughter. He's charged with murder. In court today, a detective testified Epps originally said he was not at the home on Whitney Avenue at the time of the assault. He said a babysitter was with his daughter, but 3 other children who were in the home at the time told police what happened.
All 3 stated that Mr. Epps had dropped their sister on his head One articulated that, quote, Daddy smashed her on her head really hard and she was upside down.
Epps later admitted a babysitter was not with the child. Security video verified he was home at the time of the assault. A judge sent his case to a grand jury. His bond remains at $1 million. Kentucky's Public Service Commission held a public meeting in Harlan County tonight. The purpose? To hear what folks have to say about the proposed retirement of 4 coal-fired electricity plants. WYMT's Keaton Hall has more from the meeting.
We're not only going to kill your jobs, we're going to raise your rates and probably not give you as good a service. That's the way we look at it, I think, here in this county.
Louisville Gas and Electric and Kentucky Utilities have filed a request to retire 4 coal-fired electricity plants and 3 natural gas units, replacing them with new natural gas and solar facilities. On Thursday, the Kentucky Public Service Commission held a public meeting in Harlan County. Folks were invited to ask questions and provide comments about the proposed closure, and overwhelmingly, the Harlan crowd was against the proposal.
And we need coal to make it fair.
Kentucky should stand with Kentucky people, and Kentucky should stand with Kentucky ratepayers, and Kentucky should stand with Kentucky economy jobs. And those jobs in eastern and western Kentucky are coal jobs.
Harlan County Judge Executive Dan Mosley is worried the closure of the plants, which are not based in eastern Kentucky, will still greatly affect those in the area, raising their electricity bills and hurting coal production jobs.
I'm concerned that further coal-fired plant closures will result in people seeing more hikes on their electric bills. The other thing is it's a $2.09 billion cost. Who's going to pay that? Ratepayers.
But LG&E and KU Representative Chris Whelan says the proposal is actually better for Kentuckians over the long haul, providing a reliable, cost-efficient alternative to the aging coal plants.
And coal has served us well for years, but these plants have reached the end of their economic life. They're over 50 years old, and it's kind of like your car when you finally get to the point where it's no longer makes sense to, keep installing and repairing it.
If approved, the replacement power generation would be online between 2026 and 2028. In Harlan County, Keaton Hall, WYMT Mountain News.
The Public Service Commission is still taking public comments on the proposal on their website. You can find more information about that on our website, WYMT.com. National Dog Day is this month, and Diversified Energy Company is bringing awareness by supporting local shelters across their operating areas. DEC staff served today at the Kentucky River Regional Animal Shelter in Perry County and also dropped off supplies. Jordan Pigman with DEC says they see the need at the shelter and are hoping to provide relief by lending a helping hand.
Right now they are supporting 4 counties and really taking in what they can to help. But the issues that they're having right now or facing is the fact that they are over capacity for what they have. They're still trying to do the best that they can, and they work tirelessly in order to accommodate these animals.
If you would like to help, the shelter's biggest needs, we're told right now, are paper towels, newspapers, 45-gallon trash bags, dog, cat, and kitten food, cat litter, and volunteers are also needed. Students in Jenkins Independent Schools will not be the only ones showing off new items when the school year starts. The Screven Baptist Association mission team delivered more than $30,000 worth of shoes to students, and team coordinator Susan Harris says they brought something for the teachers as well.
So we have brought 100 teacher gifts, and we went to the school on Tuesday and gave out teacher gifts and had some breakfast with them.
The Jenkins Independent School Year is set to begin on August 9th. School officials say the gifts give them more confidence going into the school year. Operation Unite hosted its second community symposium this week. The first was in Prestonsburg and the second today in Manchester. Operation Unite was launched by Congressman Hal Rogers 20 years ago to battle drug abuse in the region. With the help of their coalitions in more than 30 counties, Congressman Rogers says he's proud of how far Eastern Kentucky has come.
And now Eastern Kentucky is recognized nationally as one of the fastest going people that are being recovered. So I think we could call us now the recovery capital of America.
The symposium included a panel of leaders at the center of the battle as they shared things that work in their particular organizations or region. Grace Community Kitchen and some of its partners hosted a backpack giveaway today in Pikeville. The event provided backpacks, lunch, haircuts, and school supplies to families in the area. Those involved say it was all about coming together as a community to help families offset the costs that come with back to school.
Especially some of the older ones do feel a little more embarrassed about it, but really there shouldn't be anything to be embarrassed about. This is an event for them by the community, and it's so important for community to support community.
The event was one of several that have taken place in the county during the last couple of weeks, providing hundreds of backpacks to those in Pike County. Eastern Kentucky native Tyler Childers has quickly sold out 2 concerts to close out the year at Rupp Arena. Tyler Childers recently announced the tour stop at Rupp Arena last month. Tickets went on sale to the general public today. A pre-sale was yesterday. The concert will be 2 nights, December 30th and 31st. Ticketmaster says tickets are sold out now for both nights. Special guest Shovels and Rope will perform as well. Coming up on Mountain News at 11, UPS union members begin voting on a contract agreement that avoided a strike with just days to spare. And the man responsible for a 2018 synagogue shooting receives his penalty.
And we continue to watch foggy conditions overnight. The details after this.
Are you ready for a new school year? What better way to start a new school year off right